Hey there, so this video is on leucine and ketogenic diets. So this is going to complement the how to build muscle and burn fat video I made on my channel, but the main gist of this video is how leucine can allow for muscle growth even on a ketogenic diet that's for fat loss. So when it comes to leucine and ketogenic diets, overall on a keto diet, when you're using it for fat loss, if you want to retain as much muscle as possible, you're going to need adequate protein consumption or keep your carbs low enough and your fat high enough to always be having high levels of ketones. However, when your goal is to grow, you need a positive nitrogen balance. And this is achieved by just getting around 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight or up. And a positive nitrogen balance is really the only key to building muscle on any diet. So calories aren't necessarily necessary. All that's really necessary is this positive nitrogen balance, and your body needs adequate energy. So this is where fat adapted keto diets come in, because your body is able to use energy at all times of the day, not only when it has enough carbs, which would be the case for most carb-based cuts. But when it comes to leucine on a ketogenic diet, what's going to be key here is leucine is a very big stimulator of MTor. So MTor is a pathway in the body that controls a lot of growth, particularly muscle growth. And leucine is capable of stimulating MTor on its own. The only other way to stimulate it, as far as bodybuilding intensive purposes, is insulin, and this is typically achieved by people eating large amounts of carbohydrates in order to raise their insulin enough to flush the protein into the muscles. However, the more carbohydrates you're having, the more resistant your body is going to become to creating muscle, and through that insulin sensitivity. Your insulin sensitivity is going to be more resistant, and you're not going to be using all of your insulin as effectively, and you'll start storing more fat because most of your insulin is going to be not as effective at actually putting nutrients into the body. It's going to store some as a result of the excess. So not only will a keto diet really increase your insulin sensitivity, but if you're trying to build muscle on this diet and you're using, you're getting adequate proteins, particularly supplementing with leucine and BCAAs, what's going to happen is your body's going to not only have a better MTor response from the leucine amounts, so 5 to 10 grams maybe per day, whether you're getting it from eggs, supplementation, whatever the source is. If you're getting adequate amounts of leucine and you are having a higher insulin sensitivity, the amount of leucine, or the amount of insulin that's going to be a result of your protein intake and your overall food intake throughout the day, because insulin raises, whenever you eat anything, the insulin response is going to be much more effective from consuming protein, and leucine in particular, and it's going to really help with building muscle and activating that mTOR pathway in your body effectively without making it too excessive. If you're mixing this with fasting, right, large amounts of intermittent fasting, so maybe even 18 to 20 hour fasts, you're not going to be stimulating your mTOR throughout the entire day. mTOR is going to be mostly during the resting periods after you've had, good protein content in your meals and a full meal, especially if you're going 1 meal a day, 2 meal a day. mTOR is really only going to be stimulated during that chunk of the day. Now, mixing this with fasting is a great approach because it's going to maximize the amount of fat you're burning during the fasted period and maximize your efficiency at using fat for energy and maximize your body's ability to flush protein into the muscles and other nutrients into the muscles. So, increasing your leucine intake on a fat adapted keto diet is going to be very beneficial for muscle gains and strength gains, because really the speed at which your muscles recover is affected by your a positive nitrogen balance, and getting a positive nitrogen balance of protein from a variety of amino acids, particularly leucine, is the best key to building muscle on a ketogenic diet for fat loss. So that's the one main key to actually implementing a muscle building element to a fat loss diet. It has to be fat adapted and ketogenic, but that's just a little teaser to the larger video which I've made on building muscle and burning fat on a ketogenic diet, fat adapted diet. So my name is Anthony Romano. Thank you for watching this video. Peace.